Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Overkill, I'm going to show you how to use 6 Forma to commit Penticide. Okay, so that's not my joke, it's this guy's. But then again, this is the internet, so someone else probably came up with it first, so I feel no guilt whatsoever. Anyway, as all of you know from its episode of the Quick Draw and its ranking on my hit list, I'm quite fond of the Penta. So I figured that it would only be fair to spread the love like a rampant STD during a fraternity rush week. But before I jump into the build, let me cut you off at the pass. I'm not sure if this is still a thing, but anyone who says anything about not using multi-shot on the Penta has clearly lost their minds and not done any form of math on this weapon. You have a 90% chance of dealing double the damage. What else do I need to say? Now, some people want to argue that multi-shot prevents you from firing more than 3 rounds at once for a max total of 6 active grenades, because the Penta caps you at only having 5 grenades out at one time. But tell me, exactly when do you need to have 5 grenades out at once? And please don't give me that bullshit about putting them at different spawn points on a defense mission, because we damn well know that for the most part only 2 or 3 spawn points actually spawn during the beginning of a wave, and about 70% of the time they don't all spawn together. So while 1 or maybe 2 of your grenades may hit, you're losing a crap ton of extra damage because you were too busy listening to bullshit instead of common sense. I mean, if you really want to crunch the numbers, would you rather fire 6 grenades in the time it takes to fire 3, or fire 5 grenades in the time it takes to fire 5? Gay rant off. And now, let's jump into the build. As you can see, I added 6 Forma into this build, 5 V polarities, and 1 bar slot. Per usual, we start off with the staple mods, Serration and Split Chamber. I also added in a heavy caliber because this weapon isn't an accuracy-intensive weapon, and it almost helps to blanket the area with AoE damage. Next, I add in a speed trigger which helps the Penta's slightly sluggish fire rate. Now for the Grenier, I add in a fire elemental and electric elemental mod to create the radiation combo. And then as always, we add in our good friend the Bane mod, Grenier in this case. Now, this is where we get into options. If you want to go all in for damage, then add the Wildfire mod for an extra 60% fire damage and 1 extra grenade in the clip. However, I personally like using the Firestorm mod because it increases the explosion radius. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think it only increases by 1.6 meters, but I'm a bad shot, so it goes in. Also, I feel that it helps offset a little bit of the inaccuracy this build suffers from using heavy caliber. The bigger radius means that you've got a bigger chance to hit your targets with both grenades. Now, the Corpus version of this build is pretty much the same, except I swapped out the Fire Elemental for Cold to create the Magnetic combo, and added the Bait of Corpus mod. Simple? Easy? Perfect. For the Infested, we do pretty much the same thing, swapping out that Cold mod for a Toxin to create the Corrosive Elemental combo, and toss in a Bane of Infested mod. Now for the Infested, you have the option of maximizing damage by removing Firestorm and adding in the new Malignant Force mod to add a little bit of extra punch to the corrosive element. So my biggest tip for the Penta is simple. Pay attention. Watch where your grenades are bouncing. For the most part, they follow a pretty standard bounce trajectory, but on occasion they may ricochet off of a crate or pillar, causing it to come flying right back at you. In the same vein, if you watch your grenades, you can detonate them mid-air, which can result in pretty devastating headshots. Just be aware that this tactic doesn't work out so well on the Corpus due to their protective headgear. Also, if you need your grenades to go further due to the fact that they follow an arcing path, be sure to aim a bit higher so that the projectile stays in flight longer. This also works fairly well when trying to get a grenade behind cover. Lastly, come prepared with revives. I don't care how awesome or pro you are, the Penta can kill you real fast. Thank you all for watching another episode of the Overkill. Hopefully you guys got some good information out of this. Be sure to do the thing that I asked you to do at the end of every one of these, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more explosive content here at A Gay Guy Plays. Dicks, dicks, and more dicks. I don't think I put enough dick jokes in this one, but whatever.